What's going on, guys? Really sorry that we haven't had a video in such a long time, but I have got a good reason for that. The reason is it's getting so tough to find employees now that me and the wife got together and we thought we would just start growing them. So meet Heath. Yeah, 16 years, do we think? 16 years before I start getting any kind of work out of him? Who knows? I'm going to jump straight into this video, guys. I hope you enjoy it. Please remember to like it if you did, and give us a subscribe. We're doing really well. We're on our way to 1,000, which would be amazing. Hope you guys are doing really well. Really appreciate all the support and the comments of saying, you know, where have you been? We miss your videos. Really appreciate that. So yeah, we will catch you in the next one. Hope you're good, and I hope you enjoy. What's going on? No, it's been a while, but we're back. New baby, living the dream. So, kitchen's obviously been ripped out on this job, so we are taking this out, putting a system boiler in there. But one of those jobs, literally just spoke to the client. I didn't realise that they were doing to this extent, and they want to replaster the room, so there's no point in me putting a new boiler on the wall and then plastering around it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to decommission this all today. I'm going to get my flow and return in the ceiling where I want them to be. I'm going to get my core hole out. I'm going to sort out this gas pipe because that ain't good. There's also a hob going here, a gas hob, so I need to first fix a pipe for that. And then there will eventually be a kitchen sink here, so that's where my condenser is going to go. So what I'm going to do is today is first fix all the pipe works. Sorry, they're digging up the road outside. It's just not very courteous, is it? Honestly, plans always change, don't they? So we're going to decommission, first fix our pipe work, let the kitchen fitter and the plasterer come and do their thing. Some fairly questionable electrics in here as well. So we're going to get on with that, and then we're going to go from there. Who needs expensive camera holes? That'll do the job. Just noticed this little sticker. Don't do it, it's stupid. Don't use them. Next job, it's kind of hard trying to work out what to do before and after the builders, but this control pack we are keeping, but we don't want it here. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is take this wire out. There is a spark going at some point, so he's going to have to put me in a fuse spur, because I don't want that. So we'll take that out, and then I might pull it back through and then just drop it. So this is, that line there is where the cupboard's ending, and this is boiler, and I've got a little void here, so I might just run some trunking down the side once it's done, just to take the power on the switch live. So let's do that. Okay, so ignoring this, because that's a job for someone else, that is. Yeah, so that's where that came off. For those of you who haven't seen inside one of these, that's a classic. Look at that. neutral's just popped out. So, I don't know what that's for. Probably just a neutral to upstairs. But either way, we're gonna have to sort something out. So, these are actually really simple because on the back, it breaks down what it is. Does that make sense? So all I'm going to do for now is just take a picture of this so that I know I can then reinstate it exactly as it is. Like it is, I'll probably end up redoing it anyway, but for the sake of argument, I'm going to redo it and then put it all through and put it over here somewhere. Cool. Right, we're back. Been plastered. Please love when you make a perfect plan and the plasterers come along and plaster over your flue hole that you just cored. So we're gonna have to try and get that out. But the plan for today is to first fix this gas pipe. So we've got to come along here for a hop and come along and up and then just cap it under where the cabinet's going to be ready for the boiler. So we're going to do that, and then the other thing we're going to do is bring a condense around the corner here, around here, and then I'm going to let the kitchen fit, well, either that or I'll come back in and redo that bit. So we're going to do this bit so the kitchen fitters can get going, and then I'm going to have to come back and second fix the boiler. So let's get it done. Okay, so gas is all done. Gas is all done. Ready for the boiler, and the condense I've just run along here. So that effectively when they do the kitchen sink in here, they can just tap it in. So next job is to redo this core hole. So luckily, outside they haven't filled it in. Look at that for precision drilling, eh? So what I can do is just run my core bit back from the outside, and hopefully it doesn't blow out too much of that fresh plaster. It's the only thing I can think to do. What can you do? Okay, probably not today. Right, another one done. So that's all in there. Flow returns are in, filters in, flues in. So things I've got left to do when I come back once the kitchen is in is just connect up the condense. So it just needs to run along over there. And then I've left the gas like that. I don't know exactly where they want me to run it, so I'm going to talk to them about that. It may end up just running into the corner and following the condense and then connect on. I don't know. But I've done what they've asked me to do, so yeah, up to the kitchen fitters now to get in here and do their thing, and then I can come in and finish up. So on to the next job, where we've got a temporary shower to fit. See you in a bit. As if by magic, here we are. So the story of this place is they're gonna totally level the place in about 6 months' time. But in the meantime, they need a functioning shower. So this is the scenario we've got at the moment. It's just not working. We can't find a cartridge for it. So what we've done is we're just gonna do a super cheap bar mixer with wall mount plates like that. We can drill straight through that wall, and then in here, just the other side of the wall, is our pipework and pump. Let's do it. Okay, very, very quick run through of these wall plate elbows. These ones are made by Swirl from Screwfix, I think. Really, really expensive. You can get better ones. They're a little bit stronger. These ones are a little bit flimsy, but for what we're doing here, it's perfect. Like I said, 6 months, doesn't need to be great. So the idea being, this bit screws to the wall. Beauty of these, if you're ever first fixing a bathroom, is that you can literally have your copper pipe, which has run away from me. You can have your pipes just coming out the wall, and then tile over them. So you've literally just got that pipe, rather than messing around with trying to set the depth of wall plate elbow or whatever it is you use. I've always preferred these. If you're putting a bar mixer on, these are so easy. So you imagine this is coming out the wall. This bit just slides on it like that and then screws to the wall. And then what happens is here you've got effectively a nut and olive. So the olive goes on and then your nut. And what happens is you set your depth and cut this pipe, yeah? So that it's, when you do it up, it's just inside like that. See that? So it doesn't protrude, just inside, so that then when you want to put your shower on or your bar mixer with the washer, it sits nice and flush on that flat bit and then won't leak. If you fit these and they leak, 9 times out of 10 it's because your pipe is like that. And what it's doing is just snagging on the washer and it's just dripping slightly. So on the instructions, it will tell you exactly how much pipe you're supposed to have showing out the wall. I'm doing this slightly different because I'm doing it after the fact. So what I'm doing is just setting them just inside, tightening them up. Like that. So you can see it's just inside, but it's not proud, yeah? I can then put that through the hole I've just drilled, screw it to the wall, and then once they're screwed and you're ready to fit the shower, they come with little finishing washers. I don't know what you call them. Someone in the comments will tell me, I'm sure. And then it just screws on, flush to the wall, and it gives you quite a nice finish on it. And then the shower goes on, and I'll show you what that looks like. Like that. Now, when you're doing these up, you can get special spanners that have like plastic jaws, or I think Nipex do a set that's supposed to be very good for it, but I don't have one. What I tend to do is just put a little bit of tissue over it. Crikey, this is a difficult one-handed. Because these are on rubber washers, they don't need all that much tension really. Just hand tight would probably do it, to be fair, but better to be safe. All right, let's go around the other side, connect up the water. Okay, so these are our 2 pipes that are connected in. It's going to have a little bit of water in it, but it shouldn't have too much. This one done. I've purposely cut that short because I know that this is going to have slack on it because it's on a flexi down there, and that way I can manoeuvre it to get the elbow in. We're back. So, spoke to the customer last night. They've decided that they can't wait any longer for hot water. So, what we're going to do is just run this gas into the corner and then down, and they're going to box this in afterwards. And then I'm going to temporarily wire it up. Obviously, I can't run power off that, but I've got a socket over there that's live, so I'll just put it on a fly lead for now, and then let the Sparky sort the rest of that out. Connect the condense, and what I'm going to do is, I think temporarily, I've got a little plug there, so I might just drop that in there just for now. Let the kitchen fitters tidy that up afterwards, just so that we can get them some hot water. And then I've got to do the changeover in the airing cupboard, which I can walk you through, because this is a system boiler, and what we took out was a heat only. So. Okay, so the gas is in, as is the condense, and then all I've done is just temporarily just dropped it into that so that they can use it until the kitchen fit is ready. So, electrics. So we've got here, this is the old switch live for the old boiler. So we're going to use that same switch live and put it into the new boiler. This has got a fly lead on it already, so that is what will eventually go to the fuse spur there, or thereabouts. Sparky put it slightly the wrong place, but that's fine. But I thought I'd show you a neat little trick that these 8000s have got, which I actually think is possibly the best thing about them, and that is that if you pop the top like that, you can actually remove the whole side, which makes servicing really straightforward. And it also means that when you're trying to, like I am here, feed a cable down the back, super easy. So by just taking off the side, I've just saved myself a whole lot of headache. I'm now going to just tuck her in there, and then I can wire it in. So switch live cables, and they are going to go into port LR, which, if this ever focuses, it's those yellow ones there. Cool. Okay, update. So fly lead, obviously it's off at the moment. I'll tidy that up when I'm ready to, and then effectively what we've done is we've taken that lead straight into the boiler with 230, and then we've taken the 230 out port out of the board, which we've used this fly lead for. 230 out, running into the programmer, and then connected up that other programmer, and then obviously we've dropped that other switch line. So that is good to go now with wiring. I can put this, clip these cable ties back and pop the side of the boiler back on, and then we're going to head upstairs and do the bits we need to do in the airing cupboard. Let's get it done. Okay, so airing cupboard. So that pump needs to come out, and below it, can't really see it, but you can see there, that one there is our fill, and that one there is our vent. So what I'm going to do, I haven't got cold main in here, which is annoying, but I do up in the loft. So what I'm going to do is drop a pipe down here, which will be cold main, filling loop onto that, which is the fill, and then this, which is the vent, I'll cut, reduce to 15, and then put an automatic air vent on it, so that it is all then totally sealed. So let's get it done. Scrap that, I've had a better plan. I'm going to convert this pipe to mains, and then just cut the filling link in line, and then still cap that. Yeah, better plan. Okay, so pressure gauge and filling loop on the return valve, and then what I'm going to do is go up in the loft, convert that to mains, cut this out, and we're good to go. If you don't know what I mean by changing a system over to pressurized or sealing a system, what I'm going to do is just do a really quick little walk through with the diagram. Right, okay, bear with me. This is the first time I've done this, so let's have a look. So this is a standard vented gravity system. So this side, up in your loft, you've got two tanks. You've got one large one, which is your cold water storage system, and one small one, which is your feed and expansion tank. This is what we're talking about. So how this works is, the smaller tank in your loft has a ball valve to control the water level, has effectively an out and then a vent that runs over the top. So if we follow this down, comes out of here, runs down here onto the flow pipe. So we've got boiler, this is our flow coming out, excuse the poor drawing, comes around. We then have the fill, so this is water coming down here. So this is fresh cold mains water, okay, coming down from our tank, coming down into our central heating system. Here, this one here is our vent. So I always remember this as FVP, fill, vent, and then pump. So what that means is that this is our vent, which runs up, along, and all the way over the top of the F&E tank. So this is effectively, this is exposed to what they call atmospheric pressure. So what that means is that whatever our water line is in this tank, let's say it's here, yeah, so this is our water line in this tank. What that means is that that is also where, because of the way water works and finding its level, that is where the water in our central heating system will be filled to. And what that does then, it allows this space here for expansion. So as the water heats up, molecules get, this is how it was always taught to me at school, molecules get excited, move around more, and therefore the volume expands. So what that means is that we need to allow for that expansion, and that is what this vent pipe is for. So this is open-ended, this is open vented appliance. Classic thing is that if the water level is here and your vent is below that water level, it's not going to work, because it can't push the water back. Does that make sense? It's got no room for expansion, all sorts of nasty things happen. So that is effectively an open vented system. What we do when we talk about sealing it, all the same components are here, just slightly different. So what we do is this open vent here we cap, and we effectively replace it with an expansion vessel. Testing it at the top. So what this does is that this gives us a air charge this side and a water charge this side. As the water expands, this rubber diaphragm in the middle flexes against that air charge, and then as it cools down or the pressure drops, it can then come back to where it was. So that is how that works. This is how we deal with expansion or hot or water expansion in a sealed heating system. Okay, the same way with a sealed hot water system, we've got the same thing, that expansion vessel dealing with that constantly variable changing pressure. But we still need a way to get cold water into the heating system when we've drained it, for example, or there's been a leak or whatever else. So what we do is we take a line from our mains. This is our mains coming up here into the ball valve. Yeah, we take our mains and we put in a filling loop in between the two that is removable. So what that means is that we then fill directly off the mains to a set pressure, which is normally between 1 and 1.5 bar at room temperature or at cold. And that is how we get the water into the system. So rather than it coming from the tank and running down, what we do is we put a filling loop on the mains, fill it directly from the mains. This is quite simply what it is. Open vented means you have a tank in the loft with an open vent, and sealed means you have an expansion vessel instead of an F&E tank, and you are filling directly off the mains with a finite amount of water, i.e. it's not constantly going to fill. I hope that helps. Let me know if it does, let me know if it doesn't. I don't know if people want to see this sort of thing or not, but there we go. That's my first attempt at it. Okay, so pump's cut out. Filling link's on. Reducer and an air vent. So all I've got to do now is link over in the loft and then we can start filling. Sorted, all done. So filled it all, tested it all, was all happy. So hooked up my flushing machine, flushed it, went through each rad. I think we're all tickety-boo. Leave them to it now, come back when the kitchen's all fitted. On to the next one.